understand what people need.
So here's a question. I'm learning to do sales. I'm in the process of this. I'm a one-off dude. I've got, 30 clients or 25. I'm trying to get to 50. I want to do this full time, and I'm willing to learn, but I have a little bit of hangups around the language I'm using, and it feels like I feel uncomfortable kind of making these sort of like sort of that like sale at the end, the close, like where I'm like, I can show them what I do and tell them about it, but then I don't know where to go for the next level of like, all right, well, are you ready to buy?
Yeah.
How do I get over that? Or what are your best practices for like maybe picking that skill up?
Yeah. Practice.
Right.
So, I mean, you could do like a mock sale with your friends and like play around with it that way. But honestly, just the repetitions. It's doing enough calls where like there's just no shame. And the other thing too is if you're doing the first parts of the steps, like before you even get to here's my offer, which one do you prefer, whatever. If you've built up so much momentum where like, and the conversation has flowed and we've gathered all of our notes and we know exactly what they're looking for, those feelings should go away. I find those feelings arise when it's like we didn't do the previous steps.
Right.
And then we're anxious about, okay, now I'm going to have to deal with all these questions here. And then it's going to get clunky and things like that. So repetitions is number one. And then I'd say number two, ensuring that your steps are being done and documented, and we're building momentum into that closed portion of the sale.
Right. So recording your calls?
Record all your calls. So I would say coaches should record their sales calls and review how they did. Understand when a client doesn't close, especially rewatch those calls. Right. Understand why. Was it a bad fit, or did we fumble a little bit? And not be afraid to do the repetitions of the sale and be shameless about it. We talk about like those door-to-door salespeople, but like Mormons make the best door-to-door salespeople. Right. Why? Because on their mission trips, that's all they had to do. Yeah. And they just knock, and just keep going. Thousands and thousands of rejection. Right? Yeah. Exactly. You're going to have tons of rejection. And rejection is like, it's anti who we are. We don't want rejection in any capacity.
Right.
But ultimately, that's what's going to get you to a place where you're so confident that it just flows. And it really should feel conversational and it shouldn't feel this like super high stakes.
Right.
We should dispel those feelings. But the only way to do that is to do the repetitions.
That's cool. That makes a lot of sense, because I think a lot of people would have that sort of hang up where it's like they can get to that point where it's like, hey, I got to sell this, but then they're like, okay, the next layer of that is like, okay, well, let's try to close this sale. Yeah. And it feels awkward. And it sounds like what you're saying, which makes sense, is you probably aren't leading up to that point in a natural way. Yeah. And then when you get there, it feels forced or awkward to you, because it doesn't connect. Right.
Absolutely.
Here's a question, like from an offering standpoint. When you're putting together your offering and your packages of whatever, it's easy to say, I do this for this much money. Yeah. It's remote coaching. It's $200 a month. That's my offer. And it includes this, this, and this. There's no anchoring of like, well, is that a good deal or a bad deal? There's also kind of like no sense of like choice. Maybe they don't have a lot of choice, but it's like, you're kind of just saying, this is what I do, that's it. Do you think that pricing and like sort of modeling out your offerings is a big part of sales or contributes to sales if you say, like price anchor by saying like, well, I've got this version of remote coaching, which is $350 a month, and it's a check-in every week and a phone call, and I send you a letter every, month, handwritten with a picture of me. But for $200 a month, this is the more standard one, which I think makes sense for you? Or do you think that's not as important?
I think having a price anchor could be solid. That's why I like a good, better, best offering.
Right.
And the best cocould be your most expensive. You get every bell and whistle. You get 24/7 chat with me. Call me at 3 a.m. I'll answer. But it's so ridiculous in price that you only have one person on that plan.
Right.
The rest kind of go for the middle option.
Yeah.
That's like with good, better, best. Most people just end up in the middle.
Yeah.
With an either or, like you'll find honestly it's a pretty good distribution between the two. It's almost like a 50-50.
So what's the difference between like good, better, best and either or? How would I, like for remote coaching, how would I build those out? Like,
so I'll give you an example. Like a good, better, best for remote coaching could be the best offer gets you everything plus like nutrition.
Okay.
The good offer is like, or better offer could be all the coaching, no nutrition, but you get like your check-ins, all this stuff. The good, better, best. So good offer could be, we only, instead of check-ins every day, I do you do a weekly thing where I check in weekly, send you a video on your program, see how you're doing.